Well, since our loss at Atletico, we have been back on a winning streak. In fact, I think the only thing we have gotten more than goals has been yellow cards, which is par for the course here in High End. My name's FM20, and it's time to get real. So we've been on a really good run. We've only allowed one goal, and that was, I believe, not an extra time goal, but a late goal against CSKA Moscow. We'll take a look at that here in a minute. After beating Napoli, we thumped Eibar 4-0. Israel brace a goals, Oosterley a goal, Verdonk a goal. We then shut out Barcelona 2-0. Carlos Roberto a goal, Oosterley a goal. This was a solid game for us. They had 27 shots, 14 on target. We had 23 and 14. A ton more fouls. 4 yellow cards there, too. The defense was just absolutely on their A game. Bates on a 7-6, Jan a 7-5, Uche a 7-3. Oosterley, a player of the match with an 8.7. Augusto chipped in with a 7-5. Roberto was his usual good self. This was a solid game. And shutting out Barcelona gave us first place in La Liga and the advantage over them should it come down to a draw, or should we be equal on points at the end of the year. Against Sevilla, we beat them 3-0. Roberto a goal, Uche a goal, Robert Mira an extra time goal. CSKA Moscow, we absolutely thumped 6-1. Carlos Roberto a goal, Ari Thunesson a goal, Antonio Augusto a goal. We got 3 goals in 5 minutes. They got a 61st minute goal from Belkin, that's right. Maria goal, Uche a goal, and extra time. We just completely outclassed them from beginning to end. 31 shots, 18 on target, decent possession advantage. Fouls we actually went down on. We only had 13 fouls, but over a third of those were yellow cards. So I've given up on that. It is what it is. And then we beat Celta Vigo 2-0 thanks to a brace of goals by Carlos Roberto. That currently puts us in, second place. We're 2 points behind Villarreal, who have still yet to lose a game. Carlos Roberto leads us with 10 goals and an 8.12 rating. Antonio Augusto, 6 assists. Uche, the best pass completion rating. Roberto, 4 Players of the Match awards. Roberto also has... Augusto has 4 yellow cards, and both Augusto and Kermit each have a red card. In our 8 matches, our 22 goals scored are second highest. Our 6 goals allowed are third best. Our 22 yellow cards. 2 red cards. And our attendance is actually really, really good. 36,381, which, if I recall, 36,795. So we are about, 98% capacity? You can't really go wrong there. So today we are playing Real Zaragoza and then Leipzig in the Champions League. Zaragoza is a solid squad. They are currently in 13th place. 3 wins, 1 draw, 4 losses, and a negative 3 goal differential. I'm not taking them for granted. The nice thing is that we actually have a little bit of, I could be wrong here, but I want to say we have we got a 4-day break. But I'm playing most of my first teamers here. And then the training schedule, and I may not have saved this, so I may have to go back and fix this here in a second. Here's the Zaragoza game here. Yeah, we need to change this to match tactics. And that way everybody will be mostly good for the Leipzig game. So Brave Verdonk is back from injury. Herdier Mutsilius is out, and then Adele tore a thigh muscle. He's out for 2 to 4 games. No, Mutsilia is not out. Who else is out? I think it's just Adele. We're playing our 4-2-4 today, of course. Bates in goal, Kerma, Lenz, Uche, and Jan as the defensive back 4. Augusto and Oosterley as the midfielders. Verdonk and Israel as the attack midfielders. Roberto Maria up top as the strikers. Augusto, from well outside the box, sends it in. It's knocked away, but Uche is going to run it down. Gets it over to Israel, who's got a bunch of teams after him now. Israel loses it, bounces off a couple players, goes to Rubio, who promptly gives it away to Kerma. He sends it up to Verdonk. Baselines it. Israel's there, and he scores. Looking down here to see if it'll tell me how many goals that is for Israel. Oh, the weather kind of. It's not good. So that is a look at the new stadium. The food trucks in the corner there. Looks like a decent crowd today. Augusto again from well outside the box. Sends it in, knocked away. Rubio sends it up to Banis. He held it up, gets it out to Van Hyft on the left. Van Hyft drives forward. He holds it up. He's dispossessed by Israel. Ball goes to Roberto. He turns around, breaks for the net. And he is fouled in the box by Rubio. Rubio got yellowed for that. Verdonk. His penalty kick is blocked by Marquez. That was well done by the Zaragoza keeper. Corner kick in. Israel's there, but it heads it over the crossbar. A little more than a half hour, and it's been all high in. Augusto, corner kick. Lenz is there, and he heads it in for the goal. Well done, Armin. And it stopped raining. Very nice. Oh, he volleyed it in. I thought for sure that was going to be a header. At least that's the impression I got from the 2D, but, you know, it is what it is. Coming up on halftime, we are thoroughly dominating Zaragoza. They've had one shot, one on target. Uche taps up to Jan on the free kick. Over to Ustali, up into space. Goes right to Sanchez, though Maria can't get it. Marquez taps it up to Rubio. He lumps it forward, goes right to Uche, who sends it over to Lenz, out to Kerma. Crosses the midfield line, breaks left, taps up to Verdonk. And he is tackled by Sar. Roberto covers the ball. Kerma gets the ball back. And Ustali from the top of the box gets the rebound over to Jan, who centers it to Verdonk. And he hits it far post. It caroms off and in for the goal. That was a bit of luck. Israel header was knocked away. Ustali taps it over to Jan, who just crosses it, and Verdonk was challenged on the header, but he got more of his head on the ball than the defender did, and it went in. That was nice. A 3-0 lead at halftime. Israel, Lenz, and Verdonk, each with goals. We're dominating the possession-wise. Tell Roberto to calm down here. Augusto with the corner kick. Oh, he tries kicking it to the top of the box, but Sar gets it, sends it up to Banis. It didn't have any defenders back. What was up with that? Oh, and Bates got in Banis' way, and he pushed his shot wide right. Marquez sends it forward, but it goes right to Israel. He holds it up, gets it to Jan, over to Ustali, back to Uche. Up to Jan, on the right, in the box, centers it. Roberto is there, and he scores. Well done. We're moving the ball really, really well. And after this highlight, we're going to make a couple of changes here. Jan's defender left him all alone. It was a nice cross. Roberto just had to jump up and use his forehead to get it in. We're going to get Uche off and bring on Spender. We're going to get Kerma off and bring on Tasevsky. Tasevsky knocks the ball up to Verdonk, who heads it forward. Maria and Marty fight over it. It ends up with Maria after it bounces back and forth. He sends it up to Roberto, and his shot is very, very wide. That was an ill-advised shot. We're going to make our last sub here. We're going to get Verdonk off and bring on Konstantinovic. Jan sends it forward, but Gonzalez steps in front of Maria. However, he gives it away to Ustali, who taps it up to Israel. He gets it over to Augusto, back to Ustali to Jan. Oh, that was well done by the right back. Wow. Ustali set that up perfectly. Ball arrived right. The ball arrived right when Jan did. And he just had to one tap while he blasted it. And essentially, Rubio from distance off the crossbar and over. Corner kick. Corner kick for Zaragoza. Gonzalez is there. It bounces back and forth, and they get a late goal. Van Hyft scores after The ball caroms off a couple players. Nothing Bates could really do about that. Yeah, Bates dove to stop the one shot that the other Hein defender blocked, and he was on the ground when it went in. Can't blame him for that in the least. Marquez with the goal kick. To Rubio. Nice first touch. Lenz gets in the way, but it goes out to Sar. Konstantinovic gets in the way, goes to Alvarez. Roberto to Marty. To Rubio. Van Hyft over to Banis. Back to Roberto. Sanchez in the box, holds it up, crosses in. Banis is there, but he loses it. Jan lumps it forward, and the highlight ends. They have a Roberto on their squad. Okay. Coming up at the end of the game, a 5-1 victory. It's looking like 31 shots, 13 on target. 2 clear-cut chances, 3 half chances, only 2 long shots. That is brilliant. A solid win all around. Only the 1 yellow card. Nobody got injured. That was well done. Jan was classy. 2 assists and the goal. There was a reporter's question in the the pregame press conference that I sent my assistant to, where someone mentioned that Jan looks very uncomfortable at defensive right back. Are you going to keep playing him there? And my assistant basically said, if he looks uncomfortable there, we'll find someone else to play the position. Well, after that performance, I'd say Jan's pretty comfortable playing defensive right back. So we're going to save the game here, then get to the Leipzig game and get that one underway. Take a look at the group in that too before we get that started. Back in a bit. Laszlo Seferovic, 8 games, 4 allowed, 4 shutouts, 3 players of the match. Galatasaray, I do not have loaded. I would bet they're probably first in the league. So, that is what that is. We're doing well in our group stage. We are currently even with Leipzig. This game will probably decide the group. Napoli and CSKA Moscow both just tripped. It's essentially a battle between us and Leipzig as to who's going to finish first. I think if we win today, we do a good job of clinching that. In the other groups, let's go take a look there real quick. Any surprises? Well, Milan's in 3rd place at the moment. Red Bull Salzburg's in last. Celtic and Besiktas on the outside looking in. Porto and Shakhtar on the outside looking in, but that's a tough group. Barcelona and PSG. Villarreal on the outside looking in. Inter on the outside looking in, but they're in with Bayern Munich and Monaco. That's also a tough group. Real Madrid is just absolutely tripped. AZ is in 2nd place behind Man United. Wow. No, we, of course, are playing our 4-2-4. We got Bates in goal. Kerma, Uche, Hrvanik, and Jan as the defensive back 4. Augusto and Oosterley as the midfielders. Verdonk and Israel as the attacking midfielders. Roberto and Maria up top as the strikers. We're mostly match fit. The only one I'm kind of worried about is Verdonk, but he did really good last game. He's coming off injury. That's why his match sharpness is a little bit low. Luiz to Tupa on the throw and gets it back to Luiz. He crosses it in. It's knocked away. Verhage gets it Tupa, and he skies it over the crossbar. Kerma sends it forward. Goes right to Luiz, who sends it over to Fuller. Out to Bagnadov, who gets to Alwart. And Bates, a very nice stop. I have no idea. Who the heck's my number 4? Where's my number 4? There he is. Is that Uche? That probably is Uche. It's Augusto. I'm so busy looking at Augusto. I missed Diallo scoring off the corner kick. Now, let's take a look at that here in the 3D. Oh, look. This one has numbers by the names in the thing. Jesus H. Yeah, Bates was screened. Not a lot he could do there. Bates on the goal kick to Hrvanik. Augusto to Oosterley. Up into space. Gives it away. Diallo ends up with it to Alawart. Back to Diallo. Roberts takes the ball. He's got help. Is he going to use it? No, he's going to take a weak shot right at Brune. Dymek, dispossessed by Augusto. Verdonk to Jan. Back out to Kerma to Uche. All the way back to Bates. He gets it to Havranek. Jan to Hrvanik. Oosterly. Back to Hrvanik. To Uche. Augusto. Out to Verdonk. Hugs the left side line. Cuts inside. Gets by one. Robert. Up to Maria. Back to Verdonk. He gets by the defender. He's in the box. Takes the shot right at Brun, though. I can't pronounce that name. Oh, Alawar just absolutely buries it from on top of the box. Good grief. That was a shot and a half. Vrahagi. Bates just stood like his feet were made of stone. Let's get one back before the half, guys. Uche to Jan. Over to Oosterly. He crosses at Kerma. Verdonk takes the shot off the post. Israel stops it from going out of bounds, and it's kicked away by Tupa. Augusto sends it in. Roberto isn't going to run it down. I don't know what happened there. Maria to Jan. Back to Israel. Up in his face for Maria. He gets it from Luis again. Cuts outside. Holds it up. Crosses it in. Verdonk. Roberto, not there. Oosterly, top of the box. Knocked away. Oh, we've had our chances. We're even on shots and on target. We've had one woodwork hit, 2 clear-cut chances, and yet they still have a 2-0 lead. Yelled at the boys the second half. Hopefully they'll turn it on here. Dymek. Back to Fuller. To Bogdanov. Bagandov. Luis to Tupa. To Dymek. And Bates is saved by the post. Corner kick. Verhaeg. Sends it in, but it's knocked away. Guerrero runs it down. Gets it back to Verhaeg. Uche knocks it away. Goes to Alawart. Somebody was fouled somewhere. Kerma to Augusto. To Verdonk. In the box. Israel's there and he scores. We'll get one back. That was nice. It's what we needed. A goal right as the second half started. Nice header by the winger. Who's not really much of a jumper, if I recall. Heading 12, jumping 12. So he's good. Luis on the throw to Dymek. Back to Luis. He lumps it forward, goes right to Verdonk. Gets it to Oosterly, sends it back to Verdonk. Augusto out to Israel, who's got help on the right, but he's going to go baseline. Cross it in, and Verdonk is there. We equalize. That was well done. Verdonk kept running after he passed the ball and never stopped. Drifted out wide, left his defender. Tollefson. Is that our Tollefson? It could be our Tollefson. I can't remember off the top of my head. It's been one of those weeks. Verdonk. Baseline and right at Brun. Rune Tollefson. Yeah, he came on as a sub. We'll have to take a look at him here in a little bit. Okay, 72 minutes in, we are going to make a couple of changes. We are going to get Verdonk off and bring on Thunison. We're going to get Uche off and bring on Lenz. And, yep, leave that there like that. We're going to save our last sub for now. 5 minutes left. Tupa sends it in from well outside the box. Knocked away, but Tollefson's going to run it down. Tupa takes the shot. Wow, bounces back and forth. Bates got a hand on it. pushed it wide. Baggendorf kicked it, went off the post, bounced off a high-end player, eventually ended up out of bounds. And we escape with the draw, 2-2, thanks to goals by Israel and Verdonk. Let's take a look at Tollefson here, because he just moved to Leipzig for $35 million. 8 appearances, 2 goals, 1 assist, 7.38. That is not too shabby. Well, we're on course to reach the first knockout round of the Champions League, and that's frankly because Leipzig's the only team that can really catch us unless we fall flat on our face. Then Napoli has a chance as well. What we are going to come back for then is, I don't know. What do you think? We've played Napoli. We haven't played CSKA Moscow, so that has to be a live com there. So Athletic Club CSKA Moscow will be a live com. Real Madrid Leipzig again, or Villarreal Napoli? You know what? I haven't figured that out yet. I'm leaning towards Villarreal Napoli because Villarreal is still fighting it out with us in La Liga. So that is what I am thinking. Villarreal and Napoli. And then we'll have a short break, come back for CSKA Moscow, and then Athletic Club. And then that will take us through the January transfer window, and we'll pick up our Copa del Rey games somewhere here in January. Injury-wise, let's take a look at this real quick. Don't have anybody out injured. I have a couple youth players who are injured, but they're not going to show up here. But I think, yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to come back for Villarreal Napoli, short break, CSKA Moscow Athletic Club, and then that'll get us through the January transfer window. So, a solid win against Zaragoza. We clawed the draw back against Leipzig. We did what we needed to do. We didn't lose points, and that's a good thing. And we're back to our winning ways. We're still going strong. So, I want to get farther than the first knockout round this year. The board is expecting us to reach the first knockout round. We're well on our way there. We need to get past that, though. So it's the one thing we have left to do with this save is win the Champions League. I'm not going to say it's this year or bust, but next year probably for sure. So a couple solid games for us, and no injuries, not a lot of yellow cards all told, and I'm happy with that. So going forward, I'm expecting more of the same, but Custer had a plan too. So if you did like what you've seen and heard, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel for more content, questions, criticism, comments, leave those down below. I will answer those as fast as I can. My name is FM20. I thank you for watching.